And good afternoon. Welcome to Bible, Biology, and Board Games. This video is about board games, and so if the other two have interest to you, go ahead to my YouTube channel and check out the different videos about those things. Have you ever wondered, why do people play board games? What's the draw? What's the enticement to sit down for an hour or two with some people and throw dice and move things and count this and change money and score whatever? Well, to the newbie, that would be you asking that question, it's fun. It can be challenging because you want to win, but you want to play the best, and so there's a couple people that I play games with. I know that if I don't play my best, they're probably going to beat me. But then I also love teaching new games. And so that's what this video is about. Alright? This video is going to feature 10 board games that anybody could learn. As in, you played Monopoly when you were like 6 years old, and that's the last time you played a board game. Well, these games are these entry-level gateway, if you will. They're not complicated games. Yes, there are a few more rules than a Monopoly, but they're not going to be like 3-hour epic, 8 rule books kind of thing. All right. Some of these games you see behind me, those they take an hour and a half, 2 hours. Those are those medium, kind of heavier ones. All of these fit into the lighter, the less complicated gateway type thing. Okay. I'm a teacher at heart. I love to teach board games. I love to teach Bible and biology, which I do at my other job. And so these games are all games that I've taught. I love to teach them. And so I hope that you are encouraged. So if you are watching this and you've never played board games, well, congratulations, first of all, for clicking on this video. Find somebody that has these games. If you are an experienced gamer, these are some games that might help you bring in people to the genre, to the basement where all your games are stored and all those kinds of things. So, without further ado, all right, in no particular order, Splendor. This is actually the box for the expansions. Splendor. It is the idea that you're picking some different colored gems because you want to buy certain cards. When you buy these cards, then they give you more gems. And so there's only a couple of rules on your turn. You do an action. But it's nice because it is simple and it's not overwhelming with all the choices. Plus the gems, the chips that come with it, they're nice and heavy. They're weighted. And so they work pretty good. The artwork is kind of weird. This one isn't, but some of the other pictures are like, these dudes are like creepy and stuff. Whatever. In Megaland, you are pushing your luck. Okay, you're an adventurer, and you choose to either stay in the adventure or you come home. If you come home, you can collect some money and some cards and do some things. It's the safer route. But if you push on a little bit further, you might be able to get that extra monster, thereby getting that extra coin or treasure, so you can buy that extra card to just give you that step up. So this is that guy, Press Your Luck. The artwork is beautiful. This guy, Ryan Lockett, has made other games too that are all just awesome as well. Aha, classic. 7 Wonders. I don't know if you can tell. This box is pretty beat up. I've played this a lot of times. 1 starts at 7 players. With one of the expansions, you can play up to 8 players, which is nice in some settings. But this idea is that you have a card drafting system. So you get dealt a hand of cards. You keep one card, you pass the rest. And then you get some from your neighbor, you keep another card. And those cards that you keep, you play those cards, and they become buildings in your civilization. As you can see, you've got the pyramids, or the Colossus at Rhodes, the lighthouse at Alexandria, and different things like that. This is a great game. As you can see, all kinds of awards. And it is good for new people because it introduces them to having a card that has multiple uses. It's good stuff. Carcassonne. Carcassonne is a city in southern France. You may not know this, but in French, the word Carcassonne, well, I can't say that now. This is a tile-laying game. On your turn, you simply take a tile, you look at it, and you connect it to the main hub, the main board. It might have a road or a city or a monastery, and then you place the tile, and then you can take one of your little meeples and you can put it on that tile, hopefully to gain points throughout the game. So it's a tile laying at its heart. There's all kinds of expansions, which just gives you this replayability, but it's a simple game. Even a 7 or 8 year old could probably play it and do just fine. It's a good family game as well. Carcassonne. Tokaido. It's not about the first person to get to the end. It's about the experience and the journey. Tokaido is a road. It's in Japan. And so throughout this game, you're taking your worker, or your person, your adventurer, I should say, and you go from place to place. And if you're in the village, you buy souvenirs. If you're at the hot springs, you rest and rejuvenate. If you're at an inn, you get to eat a meal there as well. If you're at the temple, you donate to the treasury. All these things will give you various points. It's kind of cool because who's ever the furthest from the end, so in last place, that's the person whose turn it would be. So you take your worker, I keep saying worker, it's actually adventure, sorry, and you move it to a space that's forward. And you can go close or you can go further away, but the artwork in this game is one of the best as far as just the presence of the board and how beautiful it is, and it gives you good choices because the replayability is very nice. But Tokaido, it is a great game. Again, simple to learn, fun to play. Moving right along, Stone Age. It's in my top 10. Worker placement at its heart, meaning that you have clan members because you're in the Stone Age, and you have these workers, and then you send them out and you do stuff. You can hunt for food, you can gather resources, you can go to the fields and up your agricultural. You can go to the tool shed and get tools. You can take 2 of your meeples, put them in the love shack, and that's how you expand your clan. There's buildings that you can build and cards that you can obtain for the end game scoring. But Stone Age, it's been around for a long time. It is a classic. It's a worker placement. Again, it's in my top 10 of just favorite games to play of all time. But I would suggest this. Out of my whole list, this might be the most complicated, and this is even that complicated. So newbies, it's a good place to start. I'm good. Pandemic. This has nothing to do with the fact that our world is still in a pandemic at the time of this recording. Cooperative game. Now you're thinking, cooperative, how does that work? Well, you either all win or you all lose. In this game, this is actually a difficult game to win because there's only one way to win. You're finding all 4 cures of all 4 diseases, but there's like 5 different ways to lose. All right. And so pandemic is a great way to introduce that idea of cooperative. On your turn, you get like 4 actions, and do you move? Do you get rid of disease? You might be a special worker. You might be a certain kind of scientist or something, an engineer or something. Do you build a CDC kind of thing? All these things, the cards flip over, and they put more of the infection cubes in the city. Pandemic is growing, but you got to beat it. You got to fight it so that you can win the game. All kinds of expansions. There's legacy games with this. This was the original. This is one of the original co-op games. It's a classic. So whether you like co-op games or not, this is a good place to start if co-op is on your radar. I don't have a lid for this. This is a custom box. It contains my expansions as well. But Settlers of Catan, sorry the stickers, this has been around for a long time. This is the game that got me started into the hobby. I played it, and I was like, wow, that's fun. And so then, let me try something else. And I played something else, and but it started with Settlers of Catan. The idea that you are on this island and you build settlements, and then you upgrade those to cities. You can build a longest road. You can put army cards down. This one is a good place to start. It's not complicated. it certainly can have that spite factor that can put a rift between you and your family members. But it's just a game, so don't take it too seriously. But Settlers of Catan, it's a classic, and so you can't go wrong. All right, 2 more. Ticket to Ride. Even though I've played this 100 times, I don't know how many, I hardly ever win. It's usually my wife or my mother-in-law. They beat me at this. You collect cards of different colored trains, and then you lay those numbers of cards down to put your trains connecting cities to cities, thereby fulfilling destination cards. Again, real simple. The rules just take 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes to explain. But this game, with the destination cards, and then obviously with the deck of cards being all the different colors and they're shuffled, the replayability is very nice as well. So Ticket to Ride, it's a classic. Again, lots of expansions. Honestly, this is the only one I've ever played, but they have 5 or 6 different ones. It's won millions of awards kind of thing. People bought it all, so there's good stuff happening here. Last one on my 10 is Valeria Card Kingdoms. Now, I said that Stone Age might be the most complicated. This is a close-up. All right. You've got citizens, and so at the beginning of the turn, the dice are rolled. And so whatever numbers are on the dice, those citizens get activated, and you get resources. And then on your turn, you can do 2 actions. You can either buy more citizens, you can buy a domain, or you can slay a monster. Slaying monsters is always good. But there's points that you'll get from all of these things. At the end of the game, you have the most points. But this is a good one because it helps you have a better idea of turn efficiency. Like, okay, I have 2 actions. Should I slay a monster and get those points, or should I get another citizen to help me with my dice rolling at the beginning? You got to weigh those out and see what you can do. Valeria Card Kingdoms, again, I don't recall, but this might be in my honorable mention. It's a great game. So, all of these games are great games. So again, Splendor, Stone Age, Megaland, Tokaido, Ticket to Ride, Pandemic, Carcassonne, Valeria Card Kingdoms, Settlers of Catan, and 7 Wonders. I just read a list, and it wasn't the same order which you saw all those boxes. But again, if you're a newbie, and you are interested, or you're even curious, you're like, why do you want to play these games? Why would you go out and spend $40 or $50 on one of these games? Well, I challenge you, pick up one of these games, or find somebody that owns one, sit down, give it a wholehearted attempt, and you just tell me, did you enjoy it? Did you have fun? If so, well, welcome to the group. The game, not all of us are nerds. Some of us are, but not everybody. We're normal people. So thank you for watching. And in my next video, if that's the next one you click on, I'm going to discuss theme versus mechanics. Mechanics versus theme. Should be exciting. So until then, I am signing off.